about 11 years ago, I told my husband, well, let me start over. My husband came to me 11 years ago and said, I don't know what you do with that computer. Can you help me? And he was only doing voicemail. So today's post is absolutely kind of ironic because I gave him some tough love back then. And I said, if you're only using voicemail to run your business, which happens to be our auto repair garage, fast forward in 5 years, you're going to be out of business. Now, he's not out of business. He fully automated. And then for those of you who've then been following me for some years, you know I'm passionate about automation. And the automation is tied to customer follow-up. And so I had an interesting thing happen, which has been going on for a while, and I kind of ignored it. But you know what? Last week was the final straw. I needed to order some hair color because I have, it's the beginning of the year, you know, and it's okay. Let me repeat. It's okay if businesses take time off. It really is. And I own a business, but I do have something to say because I've been at this 34 years. I've been in business since 1999, and I was able to not only automate my follow-up, but follow-up. So this is what happened. I wasn't able to order color from my vendor that I'd been doing business with for probably about 8 years, and it was rocky at best because years ago, as the story went, a sales rep came in, saw the opportunity to swap my color out, and I befriended her, and I went to a class, and it seemed like it was a good idea. And the relationship never got any better. So I take blame. Shame on me for staying in a situation that wasn't working. But how this is going to circle back to why it's so important for follow-up, and why, for the love of God, if any of you businesses are out there only using voicemail, listen up, because this is really important. It's really, really important. So what happened is this. Something good is actually happening, and I'll show you. All right. I was trying, for the love of God, to place a hair color order. It shouldn't be that complicated, but I needed to change my credit card, and I'm not going to leave that information through a, voicemail, right? And I need to really talk to somebody, and you know what? There are still ways to be able to follow up. And the thing is that they were closed for the holiday. Again, no shame, no harm, no foul, except for this. Gmail, at a minimum, has like an autoresponder out of office so that if you are to email like the order at blah, 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 you could get an email response back to the customer, which would be me, that says, hey, we're off. We're enjoying time with our friends and family. And guess what? That wouldn't have cost you a customer. Then we played voicemail tag. This is 2026. Voicemail tag. Who has time for that? Not me, not I, right? So that was a little bit of an annoyance. But can you imagine? You go to a company's website, you go to the contact page, and the contact page is broken. Okay, this gets even better. And then as much as I talk about AI, you know what? Even with the tools that you have with your Facebook page, there's autoresponder. And guess what? You can program, and I don't even say program, but you could put a little bit more thought into telling the bot that you're closed for the holidays. So here this was me trying to order color. Knock, 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 knock. Voicemail. No voicemail. Contact page broken. And a useless bot that couldn't help me. So you know what happens is that, picture yourself, if you have a salon right now, if you need help automating your stuff, I know how to do it. Okay? I know how to do it. And if you are a supplier to us salons, you know what? Some of us are still doing hair. And, you know, if you've been around since the 90s, well, I'll give you a gold sticker, but it's 2026. Use your autoresponder, okay? Autoresponder. So anyways, so the point of this is that about 3 years ago, I was sharing with you that there's missed call text back. So even if Even if you need to still use voicemail, you can use my system with a trackable number. And if you want to turn on the voicemail feature, you can. Most people don't even want to leave a voicemail. But what happens is with the trackable number system that I have, you'll get a text. And guess what? If you want this system for yourself, I can help set it up. And it's not just a generic text. In fact, you can actually customize it so it has the person's name. So that's called personalization. And then the other thing is that it can be turned on after hours. So if your shop is closed, your salon is closed, your distributorship is closed. Oh, how about that? If you fast forward to get into this century, it could say, hey, so-and-so, we're sorry you caught us after hours. And you can reset the expectations instead of having a business like mine try to chase you for 5 days because guess what? I'm not going to chase somebody to spend my money with you. And then I'm also talking and sharing this as an example for any of you salons out there. Customers might feel the same way, or you can provide them a much better experience through your follow-up. So I know I've been at this 34 years. I did have online booking in 2001 that does set me ahead by 25 years, but it's really kind of comical that 11 years ago, my husband said, can you help me with that computer? And I told him, if you don't he was only doing just voicemail. Now he does two-way texting. I set up an AI voice receptionist for after hours. So my AI voice receptionist makes the voicemail seem like a corded phone on a wall. It seems like, or horse and buggy. Yes, horse and buggy. If you're only using voicemail, that's like horse and buggy, okay? But I'll bring it down a notch. But this is what can happen. Think about your favorite hair job. Think about your favorite landscaping job. Think about your most favorite auto repair job that you really love to do, right? Now think for a minute. Think about the money. How much is one missed phone call gonna cost you? If you miss one phone call in your business, how much money is that gonna cost you? Not to mention, could it cost other things? Because I'm a tad frustrated at this point. I had spent 8 years of trying to hold on to a relationship with the distributorship where I got my hair color and still waiting for the experience that they advertise on their website. And I can say something, and because I was the customer, but it's not me being an angry customer. Do you know that as I stand right now, that next month, or actually 3 more weeks, I've been doing high-end hair extensions for 20 years. I've been doing one-to-one makeovers for, I've been in the industry 34 years. I work for somebody for over 25 years. I've been, since 1999. As soon as I went to work for myself, I made sure that I provide one-on-one attention. I follow up with my customers. I had online booking by 2001 so that this wouldn't happen. Are you ready? Look at that. That's going bye-bye. You know, I needed color, but now I don't need that color. Wow, that's kind of harsh, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay, so I'm happy to share that I have a brand new color line for the new year, and I cannot wait to paint some hair and to create some makeovers like I've been doing for this long, because when it comes to hair color, you know, you see that color wheel? Yep, that's on one color brand. You see the color wheel? That's on another color brand. Okay? And then you see this? Well, that's that abstract painting. So for myself, being a former Redken hair color educator, I learned how to mix color and hair color a long time ago. And I still love my passion. I'm still passionate about what I do, but I was getting a little I don't even know if it was burnt out. I was getting really, really exasperated and frustrated when I needed to order my supplies over the last 8 years, because there was almost every single time I ordered, and let me just preface this, it wasn't from the hair color that was shown in here. It was from the distributorship that carried the hair color that I'm throwing out. But they kept promising that they were going to partner with my business. And the fact of the matter is that the first time that somebody came in here to swap my color out, because I first was with Redken for a long time, and then I wanted to change some things. So then I used Schwarzkopf. Schwarzkopf was amazing. I didn't have a problem with Schwarzkopf. But somebody from the distributorship that I just left today sent me to a color class. In the color class, I liked it. And then there were some key things about the color line that I liked. But what I did not like and have not liked, and if you do see this as far as the distributorship, you know who you are. I've never gotten over the fact that once they took the color line out, they never did take it out of the salon. They left it on my salon floor for 3 weeks. And that should have been the red flag. And I tried and tried. But like when you order like shampoo and then it's the wrong one, I just got tired. I got tired. So this is the moral too of the story. If something isn't working, make a change. And if you've tried a few times and it's still not working, make a change quicker. Don't wait 8 years. And if you are a hairstylist, but you're so afraid to switch color lines, take a deep breath, literally take a deep breath, pull out the color charts, look at them from levels 1 to 10, and also find out, is it an American-based color? And I'm not talking about where it's made. I'm talking about the how translucent or opaque it is. And then look at the systems side by side. And for the love of God, don't ever let a salon owner, if you're still working for somebody, tell you you're not allowed to look at the color chart. Because when I spent 10 years working for Redken, I'd go into other salons to help them with their business. I'd go into other salons to help them formulate color. And my heart goes out to some of the stylists that are working for curmudgeons, owners that are like, you should know the color wheel. You should know it. Yeah, I bet you put them up to a test. They don't know it. And the other thing is that when you are looking at like different color lines, there's going to be differences. So I strongly recommend that you pull out the color wheel, you keep the swatch books. I'm still keeping the swatch books, even though I'm getting rid of this color brand. And it's not the color brand that did me wrong. It's the distributorship that like can't be bothered to fix their website, whatever. But getting back to when it comes to formulating color, you need to look at the natural hair color and bring out the swatch for that. And then you'll know if it's a level 1 to 10, and then compare the swatch to where that color line lives on top of the color wheel, right? Where that's going to live, because here's the thing. The laws of color never change. Red and yellow is always going to make more orange. Yellow and blue is always going to make green. Red and blue is always going to make violet. That none of that's ever going to change. So the other thing too is that, like, you know, if you think that you need to have 75 colors in stock, you don't. You don't. Really take time to look at somebody's natural level. And then you have two things that you can do with, say, a level 5. You can either make it warmer or you can cool it down. And if you think of it that way, it makes it a bit easier. And then you want to always like think about how light or dark you want the corrector. So if you're counteracting brassiness, think about do you need the same level of a corrector? So that's a little bit of a verbal breakdown of color correction, but you know something? I just wanted to get on. I told you that I'm going to be coming on. I'm going to be going live. I've been going live for a long, long time, because that's the other thing. I see in sometimes groups that, you know, oh, it's the economy, my chair's slow, I can't make any money. Well, you know what? You have the phone. You have your phone. Get out from, you know, get in front of the camera. Get in front of the camera instead of sitting behind your screen, you know, because, like, I've been at this 34 years. Are there going to be slow times? Yes. Are there going to be busy times? Yes. Are there going to be times that you might wind up feeling sorry for yourself? Yeah, probably. But if you just stay stuck, and when something's not going right, like, I could have stayed stuck. I didn't stay stuck. I got myself some new color. You know, I got myself some new adventure, which is great. So, because I'm still going to spend my money. And so I want to spend my money with people that are going to respond. And so that's the other thing. Stay on top of your socials. If you stay invisible, if you can't expect to have it both ways. You can't expect to have your chair full and be invisible. You can't have it both ways. So the suggestion, because I do my content in bulk, so instead of fretting about, oh my God, I got to post today, I got to post today, I got to post today, this is what I can tell you can do. What you can do is make a long video. It could be of you doing color. It could be you explaining why you like makeovers or what you love to do. Even if you stay on, say, 15 minutes, then find one of the tools to be able to cut it up into shorts. And then I have a social planner. If you're interested, you can use mine. And then you preload and schedule all the stuff that you've made. So say maybe you're off on a Monday. You could take an hour, 2 hours on your Monday to be your content day. And then you can pre-schedule it so it's already done. Because listen, I know it can be hard to try to juggle go before, like, you know, try to do everything if you're doing it yourself. But I also know that, guess what? I had online booking in 2001. I never hired a team. Did I work in salons? Yeah, I did that. Did I find a boss that I really enjoyed? No, I never did. Did I work for Redken? Yes, I did. Did I go and do demo stage work? Yeah, I did. Did I do main stage work? Yes, I did. I used to go into the likes of Ulta, Hair Cuttery, Fantastic Sam's. I've seen it, I've done it. How to be busy behind the chair really is dependent on you. And at least that was my approach. And I'm still standing here 34 years later, and I still like what I do. In fact, here, I'll show you. When I say I do hair extensions, see my hair extension wall? And I'm not ashamed, and it's not a brag. It took a long-ass damn time to be standing where I am. I'm going to be making $3,800 on Thursday. I don't get to keep all that. Yeah, you know what? The supplies have gone up. No crap, okay? But one thing that people absolutely love is the freaking shampoo that we can give them. We need to get refocused on customer service, because customer service, true customer service, is what's going to be the winning thing at the end of the day that's going to combat the AI. And believe you me, I love me some AI, but not the kind of AI where I'm cloning myself. I tried that for a year, and it just doesn't make sense. And I'm in a marketing circle, let me tell you, I really am. If anything, I am the person to come to if you have an idea, but you lack the tech. I break it down. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is called thinkyourwaytoamillion.com. I've been at this a really long time. And then here's the other thing. I don't think you can see it, but if you were able to see it, let's see. Actually, I'll pull up, let's see. All right, and thanks for watching. All right, there's my salon sign. There's a busy road out there. And, you know, I'm telling you my true story. I don't live in a big area. I don't live in, you know, another crazy thing? I started charging for a consultation over 20 years ago. So if there's anything that's tried to be tested in our industry, I've been there, I've done it. I know in my area, I'm probably the one that set the bar for, like, charging for a hair extension consultation. In fact, I know I was at one point. So I just, you know what? I want to see more stylists succeed. And since a couple of you are watching, some of the things I'm tired of seeing, I'm tired of seeing the backbiting. I'm tired of seeing, and I can say this because I've been at it a long time. I'm tired of seeing well, I would never. Oh, how dare they? Listen, it's a business. And this one time, I'll tell you this. I've tried going back to not charging for a consultation. No happens. No shows. And I have automations. So, like, I don't have a problem with no-shows. You know why I don't have a problem with no-shows? Because people that I don't know, they have to pay up front to sit in my chair. And some people are like, oh my God, I would never. Right, and you're probably stressing out because you have no-shows. Now, is my way the way to do it? It's worked for me for 2.5 decades. Now, here's the beauty. Do I know it works for others? Yes, because I've done some consulting with some other beauty-related professionals, and they were afraid to charge. But why? We pay for our education, we put our time in, we pay our money, we pay our time. But you know the other thing that we pay? Our emotional tax. Because I never subscribe to the like, oh, what are the signs? Oh, a hairstylist and a therapist for one price? No, because that's the problem. People they just think that they can just come to us, tell us everything, and then there becomes such a familiarity that of course they have no reason, if there's no policies or no customer service agreement that you've come up with. I have customer service agreements in play that they're like, oh, she won't mind. I'm just going to cancel. I've got to go to Johnny's game. I'll just cancel 5 minutes before. She'll just let me. She won't mind. So what happened? 18 years ago when I started this place, I was just like, oh, all right. And I was literally up the street. So that's another reason why I was showing you outside. I used to work across the street 20-something years ago at my first salon job, waiting for a haircut to come in. And I remember what it's like. Oh, God, if anything, I wish I could get a little bit of that hunger back. Because the flip side to when you have as much experience as I do, I don't want to say complacency, but maybe, some days there's a little bit of complacency. But there's also wisdom, so it's a fine balance between the two. But when it comes to my point about me being across the street to where I am now, I'm in the same town. My haircuts across the street were $19. Were $19. I remember the first time when I was in here and I told somebody, that would be 18 years ago, about 18, maybe it was the year I opened up here, that it was going to be $1,000 to do their hair. I didn't touch celebrity. I've been on some shoots and stuff, but not to do their hair. I'm not on their speed dial. I earned it. But I was like, there was a whole conversation in my head. I'm like, I'm going to tell them 1,000. And I was going to get sick. I really felt like, guess what happened? They said yes. They said yes. They said yes. The fact of the matter, the quality of the hair matters. The systems that you do matter. And if you haven't done hair extensions yet, where I come from is this. I got certified in every single application. I got certified by 7 different companies. I went in person to do it. And for me, I settled on Fusion. I did. Yes, I did. I don't like, for myself, I don't like fast in and out. I got to train with some of the best in Redken. I fell in love with makeovers a long time ago. So if you're kind of like stuck at a price point with your salon, when's the last time that maybe you switched up how it is that you offer the things that you do? So, when is the last time you switched up and offered the things that you do? Because that's all that marketing is. What if you repackage your balayage and then, they've got a treatment on the back, you've got a treatment sitting on their head, at the sink, okay? And while that's doing its thing, you give them a hand massage. People right now I'm like getting really excited about the fact that I'm still standing and AI's coming. AI's coming hard. It's really coming hard, and I've been watching sci-fi my entire life. So when I hear, and I'll go back to the color wheel, right? See the color wheel? If I hear or see, I don't understand, maybe you can help me understand. You can drop it in the comments. Oh my God, my customer brought in a picture of AI. Can you believe it? If you know your color, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At least it didn't matter to me. I had a customer years ago bring in a flower petal. Now, where you can get the best results to be able to help corral the expectations is through a damn good consultation. My consultation that I've crafted over the years is 90 minutes long. And let me tell you something, I've been in hair groups and I've gotten a lashing. Oh my God, I would never, what could take that long to give a consultation? I charge $250. And I've been sought out. Customers will seek you out in your business if you offer a consultation. They'll also seek you out more seriously when you charge for your time. I know, I've done it, I've taught it. And it's really awesome. There's another spa professional in my area. She wasn't charging, and man, she just does she's got the best equipment, she's got the best experience, and she started charging for a consultation. Guess what? It worked. There's another hair extensionist. I worked with him for like 6 weeks. He was struggling with his thing about knowing that he had to post to social media, but he was like, I'm just not doing it. Well, not only did he do it, he's still doing it, and he increased his hair extension revenue by a boatload, and then he went on to make his own shampoo line. So the type of stuff that I teach comes from like a practical standpoint because I'm still in the salon. I left being a Redken educator. That'd probably be about 10 years ago. I did it for 10 years. That was probably the hardest transition I had to do. Why? Because sometimes our professional identity gets too caught up in what we do. But it was time for me to go. My daughter was a lot younger. She's 25. It was time for me to go. Guess what happened? I really started getting busy with hair extensions, and I was so afraid to leave and take that off my card because I really thought people maybe were only coming to me because my name was tied to a brand. So the best advice that I can give you to share with you tonight before I hop off is do not, in my experience, wrap your identity too tightly into a brand. You are your brand. And in fact, if you do an exercise and you close your eyes, what's the first brand that pops in your mind? If it's not your brand, you need to work on that. And the other thing too is that like this, I always worked for a salon with the mindset that my chair was almost like my own business. It was not my boss's responsibility to make me busy. Because you know what? Bosses are human. You don't know what's going on in your life. You don't know if they're going to close their doors tomorrow. And this isn't to make you afraid. This is like, I even did hire somebody one time. And I made web pages. I made business cards. We were at Dunkin'. I'm like, she's fabulous. You got a card? She's like, no, I don't have them on me. If you are going to last for 34 years in this industry, or however your goal is, maybe you want to last 10, maybe you want to last 5 summers, and you want to do a kick-ass job, you got to show up. You got to show up. And the last thing is like, you know what? Confide with a friend. Follow people that'll lift you up. Because there are a lot of angry people out there on the internet. So if you want to feel better, I'm not going to say don't post in a group, but be mindful that when you post in a hair group, if you're having a great day, you might find people having a great day. If you're having a bad day, it's a circus out there. So, just the other things I can tell you is like, I became very business oriented. So look things up that are business related, marketing related. You're welcome to visit my YouTube channel. But I'd also strongly advise that you look at stuff that's really business related, not necessarily to our industry, in the sense of like systems, operating systems. Like I've been building my, I have my own software. I have my own software now because you know what? I got tired of all this industry softwares. I had used STX, Booker, Square, Rosie, you name them, I've used them until I found the system that I can actually build on top of. But there's mentors that I've looked at, like I'll tell you with like business, you might like them, you might not, but like Dan Locke, okay? He's a good one about high ticket sales. So am I. But one thing that I've seen over the last 6 years, because what I'm doing with my socials is that I'm working on affiliate marketing. I'm working on for myself, for my older self, for probably about 10 summers from now, because I'm going to be 56. So, but I want to help so much those of you that aren't where I'm at now. And the other thing that I've seen is like, be mindful, be careful of those that promise that they can 10x and they can get you this and you can get you that. You have the internet right now. You have AI. Punch in your question about what it is that you want to know. And don't trust the AI completely, okay? For the love of God. But if you're like struggling and don't know and you feel overwhelmed, like, oh, I know I got to do socials. I don't know what to do about socials. How do I get more customers? The one thing you don't do is Groupon. I will reach through the screen, even though I can't even see you right now, and I will find you, and you won't do Groupon, okay? Learn and teach yourself marketing, and that's how I'm able to stand here still today. Like, I'm 56. How come I have, like, voice AI? I have voice AI answers the salon. So if you're looking to feel better, go for a walk. If you're looking to feel better, go do something for somebody else. If you're looking to feel better, if you have a dog, hang out with your dog. But the last place for myself that I'll ever go to try to, unfortunately, I'm going to be really real right now, is inside a hair group to like try to get some support. And I'm not saying some of us don't support each other. It's just like, if I'm going to make $3,800 on Thursday of this week, I'm in the small town thing, it's an excuse. Don't believe the narrative, okay? And if I'm on the same street that I was when I started, but I concentrated on my marketing, I concentrated on my consultation, I concentrated on my customer follow-up, I don't watch the news. Shut the news off. I don't listen to the narrative that's outside of me that I can't control because, you know what? It's my job to help others when they come in here to feel good. And we're in the feel-good business. And yeah, it can be stressful to find your next customer, but not if you use your smartphone in a different way. So make some content. Don't stress about making the content perfect because here's the beauty about things right now. One of my most popular, like, my Instagram is Ann Marie Walts official for my business stuff. One of my reels that's like gotten to be somewhat popular is me actually saying I'm going to show up really imperfectly because that's going to be the next best thing to kick AI's ass. Because humans are imperfect. Embrace it. While everybody else is making the AI digital copies of themselves, and I tried it, I tested it, it was fun while it lasted. But the other thing is people don't trust that. People are looking now and going, is that real? Is that real? Let me tell you, that's real. So just be yourself. Go to in-person classes if you are a stylist because there's nothing like sharing the energy 3D. Like, spend the money, get on a plane, have an experience, go to a hands-on class. You know, it's not the same learning stuff on YouTube. And the other thing is if you want to charge the prices that I'm charging for extensions at some point in your life, people appreciate, your clients appreciate when you take the effort to fly and go somewhere because it's good for marketing. One of the brands, I was like, are they really the best? I flew to Italy to go find out. And could I afford it then? No. But you know what? You just do what you got to do to get where you got to go sometimes. But I'm also not saying go in debt. And before I leave you, there's one book. I said I wasn't going to share it too much. I need to write my own. But The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. We read it 8 years ago. It was very impactful, and it helped us. It helped us get our stuff together. So where I come from is I've been at this for 34 years. I've been doing extensions for 20. 8 years ago, became debt free, and I care that you're happy. I also care that please, for the love of God, don't use just voicemail. If your chair isn't full, it's because you're not. You need automation. You need some of the systems I have. If you're interested in it, you're watching, you can DM me. You like it, you can try it, or call my salon. There you go. Call my salon. Look me up, call my salon. Talk to my AI. And then you can test it out for yourself. All right? Well, anyhow, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.